Hello everyone. 50th GST Council meeting has been concluded and several recommendations were made in 50th GST Council meet. All those recommendations were later on published in the press release, and out of those recommendations few were related to GST rates and some were related to the procedural part and other things. So we'll be taking up the GST rate part of goods and services where the change has been recommended in the later part of the video. First of all, let us discuss all the changes which are other than the GST rate. So let us take one by one. First of all, changes with respect to goods transport agency services, that is GTA. Previously, GTA was supposed to opt, or you can say they have to declare that they want to pay tax on forward charge basis. And this declaration was supposed to be made every year by 15th of March. Now, the GST Council has recommended that once this declaration has been made, it will be deemed that this forward charge option they are availing every year unless otherwise declared. So there is no need for GTA to declare every year regarding that they want to pay tax on forward charge basis. Once they have declared and if they haven't changed, then it will be deemed that every year they will pay tax on forward charge basis. Moreover, the previously cutoff date for declaration was 15th March. Now they have revised and increased the date to 31st of March. Declaration will start from 1st January. 1st January to 31st March of the preceding year, they can declare. So this is the change with respect to goods transport agency services. Second change was respect to services given by the director. Now, company, director can give services in two capacity, one as a director and other in the personal capacity. So if any services is given in the capacity of a director, then definitely that will be subject to RCM, provided it is not in the form of salary. तब वो उस पे definitely RCM लगेगा. But if any services is given in his personal capacity, like we can say renting of immovable property, this is the example given in the press release, then this will be in the personal capacity and in this RCM will not apply. That has been very clearly mentioned. So this will clear lots of confusion among the taxpayers whether we need to pay RCM on renting of director's property to the company. So now this matter is very much clear and it will be further cleared by the notification. Okay. Next point is with respect to GST tribunal. It is very much needed because lots of cases are pending because everyone can't go to High Court. So it is required that GST tribunal is formed at earliest. So now moving step forward, GST Council has recommended the rules governing the appointment and conditions of president and members of the proposed GST tribunal. And it is also decided that tribunal state bench will start functioning in a phased manner. माने कुछ जगह बेंचेस स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे, धीरे धीरे करके सारी बेंचेस हर स्टेट्स में इंक्रीज होंगी. सो it will be starting very soon in a phased manner. And moreover, provision of Finance Act 2023 with respect to GST tribunal will be made effective from 1st August 2023 and it will be very soon notified. So this is the news with respect to GST tribunal. Next is the certain relaxations were given while filing annual return, I mean to say GST and 99C in the previous year 21-22 and also 2021. Now it has been recommended by the GST Council that those relaxation will also apply in annual returns of 22-23. जो relaxation disclosure related relaxations पहले दिए हुए थे वो सारे relaxations यहाँ पे भी apply होंगे. मतलब in the year 22-23 those relaxation will apply. We don't need to give the detailed disclosure for the points that has been relaxed in the previous year. I mean to say 21-22 में जो relaxation था वो relaxation 22-23 में भी applicable होगा. Apart from that, there is a very big confusion among taxpayers regarding ISD and cross charge. Where to apply ISD concept? I mean to say when to take ISD registration. Is it compulsory to take ISD registration or we can do cross charge. So this is a very big confusion, because currently the language of the law says ISD is not mandatory. It is not mandatory at all. So many taxpayers are not taking ISD registration. They are taking the route of cross charge for charging GST in other states. I mean to say, where a person is registered in different states and some services are common services, then they have to charge to other state for the supply that they are doing in the form of, you can say, bookkeeping or some auditing services. So for this, a circular will be issued clarifying the whole thing, when we are supposed to do cross charge, when we should do ISD. For this, circular will be issued, and it will be a very welcoming circular, because there is lots of confusion when to use ISD and when to use the cross charge concept. And sufficient amendment will also be done in the GST law, कि wherever ISD is compulsory, accordingly law will be amended to make ISD compulsory, because right now the provision of GST law doesn't make ISD compulsory as a compulsory tool. Abhi compulsory nahi hai. It's the language of the law doesn't say that you have to take registration as ISD. So this is the change required also, because lots of confusion will be cleared. Apart from that, there is also some recommendation with respect to replacement during warranty. Suppose if any product has been sold and there was a warranty period of say 1 year or 2 years, and during that period, suppose that product got damaged, so company have to repair it or replace it. Even when company repairs the product, certain stores and spare parts are used that has to be replaced. So now there was a question, when we are supplying this spare part, should we charge GST on that, because company is not getting any consideration for this spare part? And if we are not getting consideration, should we reverse the ITC with respect to this spare parts? Previously also it was almost clear, but there was a confusion that there should not be output tax also, and there should not be reversal of ITC also. Now this will be cleared by issue of a circular now, because the logic is very simple. When the company is selling the product in the market, then the price that they are taking includes the provision for the warranty and the guarantee. So whatever spare parts the company is supplying during the warranty period, that has been considered at the time of selling the product. So the price that is being charged by the company for the product includes the provision for warranty. भी जो warranty देंगे उसका भी एक provision उसके अंदर में include है. So it's not that कि spare part that is being replaced is given free of cost, उसका consideration product sale करने के time पे ही मिल गया है. तो यही treatment होना भी चाहिए था as per the current GST law. Still there was confusion. So GST Council has recommended that a circular will be issued to clarify these things. So that circular will also be welcome. Now, a very important point that has been taken care of is regarding if we avail the IGST ITC wrongly and we utilized also. But during that period, I was having balance in CGST and SGST ITC. So do we need to pay interest on the ITC which has been wrongly availed and utilized under the category IGST? Now logically also previously interest shouldn't be charged, but department was charging interest in many cases. So now GST Council has recommended a circular will be issued that will clear the thing, that if we have wrongly availed IGST ITC and we utilized also, but at that time there was sufficient balance in SGST and CGST, then no interest will be charged. It is very logical also, because we are forced to use IGST ITC first. So by default, balance will be left in CGST and SGST only. So interest should not be charged on that wrongly availed and utilized ITC. So that has been taken care of. Circular will be issued. Now there is one confusion over here. Many are saying, what about the reverse situation? Means we have availed wrong ITC under the head CGST and SGST, and we utilized also, but balance is lying under the head IGST. So Will department charge interest on this in this situation? Friends, this situation is not possible at all. It is not possible that you have wrongly availed ITC in the category CGST and SGST, and you utilize those ITC but balance was left in IGST ledger. It is something impossible, because as per the law, first we have to use IGST. So there can't be a situation where balance is left in IGST and we have utilized the wrongly availed ITC under the हेड CGST एंड SGST. इसलिए उस केस को यहाँ पे कवर भी नहीं किया गया. देयर वाज नो नीड, बिकॉज वो सिचुएशन अराइज ही नहीं होगी. ओके, देयर वर सर्टेन चेंजेस recommended for registration. Like currently, it is recommended that whenever any person is taking registration, within 30 days, they have to update their bank details with name and PAN number of the registered person within 30 days or before filing of GSTR 1. It means, suppose you have taken registration and due date of filing of GSTR 1 comes within 15 days. So you won't be able to file GSTR 1 unless and until you update your bank details. So you have to update your bank detail within 30 days. And if you don't update, what will happen? Your registration will be automatically suspended. आपका registration suspend हो जाएगा and you will not be allowed to file GSTR 1. And as soon as you fill up, you update the details of bank, you update the bank details, automatic that suspension will be withdrawn and then you can file GSTR 1. So this is also recommended कि bank details आपको update करना होगा. Apart from that, there is a rule of physical verification, rule 25 of physical verification if Aadhaar authentication has not been done. But currently the law says that during physical verification, the registered person should be present there. Now it is recommended, it is not necessary that registered person should be present over there, and it's logical also. There can be cases that registered person is not available. So physical verification can be done even if registered person is not available over there. Apart from that, in exceptional cases, in certain cases, even if Aadhaar authentication is done, then also physical verification can be done considering the risk parameters. भाई अगर लग रहा है risk parameter में वो fit हो रहा है, तो even if Aadhaar authentication is already done, then also physical verification किया जा सकता है. So this is also recommended in the category of registration. Apart from that, if there is any mismatch between GSTR 1 and 3B, how there will be mismatch? We have reported a liability of 1 lakh rupees in GSTR 1, but we are paying only 90,000. So department will recover the tax of rupees 10,000 with interest, provided you fail to give a satisfactory explanation. अगर आप एक satisfactory explanation नहीं दे पाएंगे, तो department will recover the difference of GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. Similarly, in case of ITC also, currently you can avail ITC only what is shown in 2B. So if suppose ITC shown in 2B, appearing in 2B is rupees 1 lakh, but you have availed the ITC of 1 lakh 10,000, then department can recover 10,000, provided if you give the proper explanation, then it's a different thing. Otherwise, department will recover those 10,000 rupees with interest. Okay, so this will also be implemented. Fine. So these are the related provisions with respect to some other than GST rate. There are few more, like in case of e-invoicing. In case of e-invoicing, currently e-invoice is for B2B category. But in many cases, government department is not registered as a normal registered person, but they are registered as a tax deductor. So even if government department is registered as tax deductor, then also the supplier have to issue e-invoice. Usko e-invoice issue करना होगा. They have to issue e-invoice. Okay. And a very welcome recommendation, that is, if there is any mismatch between ITC taken and what was appearing in GSTR 2A, there was a mismatch in the initial year. So department issued a circular number 183 in 2022 saying that if there is any mismatch, if your supplier has failed to report in their GSTR1 correctly, you can take declaration from them. If tax amount is less than 5 lakhs and if it is more than 5 lakh, you have to take auditor certificate also. So that provision, that circular was only for the year 17-18 and 18-19. But now that has been extended up to December. By 31st December 2021 तक extended है, मतलब 31/12/2021 तक. If there is any ITC which is not appearing in your 2A, then you can take declaration from the supplier if amount is less than rupees 5 lakh, and from the auditor of the supplier if amount of tax is rupees more than 5 lakh. Then that ITC will be allowed during audit or assessment. Okay, so this is also a very welcome move with respect to because lots of cases are currently going in scrutiny and GST audit. One very important change recommended is regarding the Tran 1 and Tran 2 reopening. Tran 1 and Tran 2 was reopened after the Philco Trade Center decision. Now what happened? Most of the taxpayer who failed to file Tran 1 and Tran 2 initially, or if they filed wrongly, now they have revised it and filed. But in many cases, officer didn't allow the full credit. And now there was no tool, okay? There was no tool because there was an interruption. So while filing Tran 1, Tran 2, while filing revised Tran 1, Tran 2, in some of the cases, full credit was not allowed by the officer. And there was no mechanism of filing online appeal in these cases. So now GST Council has recommended in these cases, taxpayer can file manual appeal. Obviously, appeal is a right. Definitely, the taxpayer should get this right to appeal to the higher forum if he is aggrieved by any decision of the officer. So now they have said that we can file manual appeal if we are aggrieved by the decision of Tran 1 credit that is being allowed by the officer while filing the revised Tran 1 and Tran 2. So this is also a very welcome move by the GST Council. Apart from that, there was an amnesty scheme for GSTR 4, GSTR 9, GSTR 10 for the taxpayers who failed to file for the previous years 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20. But that scheme was up to 30th June. If you file those 9, GSTR 9, 4 and GSTR 10 up to 30th June, then the amnesty scheme was applicable. Now the date has been extended up to 31st August. Means if your GSTR 9 is still pending, then please file it by 31st of August. In that case, you will be charged a very less amount of late fee. 10,000, I think 20,000 will be charged. Otherwise, if you calculate on per day basis, fees for 17, 18, 18, 19 will go into lakhs. So it's also welcome move. Taxpayers are getting 2 more months to file this GSTR 9 and 9C. Okay. Now, apart from that, there is an amendment in GSTR 5A. Now, what is this GSTR 5A? जो लोग OIDAR service provide करते, they have to file this return. But now the amendment proposed is कि whatever supply OIDAR in case of OIDAR services is being done to the registered person, they have to mention it so that accordingly RCM applicability can be checked. So this is the amendment which will be soon notified. So these were the changes recommended other than the GST rate. Now let's come to the GST rate part, because there are many changes with respect to GST rate, especially in the case of cinema halls and online betting and gaming. In case of cinema halls, previously any food and beverages which were supplied in cinema halls were charged at the rate of 18%, but now it is recommended that it should also be treated as a restaurant services, and tax rate should be 5% without ITC. Previously it was 18% with ITC, but now it is recommended that the tax rate should be 5% without ITC, provided the food, popcorn, cold drink, etc. is not as a part of composite supply with the tickets. If it is part of the composite supply with the ticket, then definitely the GST rate of tickets will be charged on the food component also. But if it is a separate offer, then definitely it will be treated as separately, and GST rate of restaurant services will be charged on that without ITC. That is 5% without ITC. Now, taxability of online gaming, casino and race course. After the Gamescraft case, this is the talk of the GST. So GST law, the GST Council has recommended that GST law will be amended to include this horse racing, online gaming, casino into the purview of GST, and GST will be charged on the full value, bet value पे charge होगा, ना कि margin पे. Gross margin पे नहीं कि जितना हार जीत हुई उस पे नहीं, gross amount पे GST will be charged. And for that there can be amendment in Schedule 3 of CGST Act, because currently in that schedule online gaming is not included. Because in Schedule 3 actionable claim is there. It means actionable claim पे GST नहीं होगा, but over there it is mentioned actionable claim excluding lottery betting. So वहाँ पे online gaming भी definitely, hopefully they will include, so that will also form part of GST, and the GST rate recommended on that will be 28%. And what will be value of supply? The full bet value. And in case of casino, the chips that we are purchasing, the coins that we are purchasing, full value of coin pay, GST will be 28%. So these are the two important changes. And apart from that, there are some more changes in the GST rate on as in basis. मतलब जो पहले हुआ था वो भी ठीक है, लेकिन अभी ये चेंज recommended है. Like in case of mainly snack pellets, previously it was 18%, now they will reduce to 5%. In some cases it was 12% also, but now they'll reduce to 5% on as in basis. Similarly, fish soluble paste, zari, etc. There are some other items where GST rates have been changed that can be seen in the rate notification later on. Apart from that, certain exemption were also given for medicine which are imported for the personal use. उसको लेके भी कुछ relaxation वगैरह दिया हुआ है. So there are certain changes in the product, different product category where there are some where the product is of medical importance and all. So that can be seen in the rate notification later on. So all these were the changes that were recommended in the GST Council meeting. So these are still recommendatory. Let the notification come, then we'll be able to find out what is exactly there in the law और क्या क्या change actual में implement हुए हैं. Okay, thank you so much.